What's going on, New Canoe Nation? How we doing this morning? Little special edition live from the Indiana Boat Travel and Sports Show. I got my good friend here, Chris Snodgrass from Moving Water Outfitters. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Glad to be here.
Yeah, awesome, man. So you guys know we spotlight some of our new canoe dealers throughout some of these shows. It's been a hot minute since we had one on. I'm here helping out New Canoe at the Moving Waters booth this week, last weekend. So it was only right that we got Chris on the show to tell us about Indiana's finest kayak dealer.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Glad to be here. It's been an awesome show so far, and we're looking forward to a great closing weekend here.
No, sure, man. It's been great. You guys have been selling a ton of boats, which is awesome. A lot of new people getting into the sport of kayaking and kayak fishing. So it's been great. Obviously, you guys could see the demo pool behind us. We got a new canoe Flint back there, you know.
That's right.
Chris's booth back there. You could see he's got a ton of inventory. So if you guys are in the Indiana area, come down to the Boat Travel and Sports Show this weekend. But Chris, let's talk about like how you started Moving Waters, like how you got involved in that, and then maybe we'll segue in how you guys picked up New Canoe and stuff.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So even before Moving Water Outfitters, love is kind of how it came about. So I've been kayak fishing for around 20 years now. Back when the Ride 115 had just come out from Wildy.
You're a true OG.
Yeah, something like that. So. Yeah, that was around the time I had my driver's license, and basically had an old truck, and we could throw kayaks in the back of it and go float the White River here in town. So
right on.
That's kind of how it all started. And from there, just been kayak fishing ever since, and chasing smallmouth and bass pretty much all over the Midwest, and done a lot up in like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and stuff. So
my neck of the woods.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where the name Moving Water comes from. Is my passion for creeks and rivers and stuff, but
that's cool.
Fish a little bit of reservoirs and things like that as well, but smallmouth and shoal bass and stuff like that's really my personal passion.
So how did you come about? Like, what made you decide I'm going to start a kayak dealer?
It's a good question. So there's a history. So Indiana has an awesome kayaking community.
Yeah,
number
absolutely.
one. And there was another business in town that a guy was running, and he decided to close that kayak shop locally and basically guide back on his native waters. So once that shut down, shop manager, who's my business partner, Mike, this current business is dying. I know you're passionate about it. Do you have any interest in doing it? So took some of my retirement, and next thing you know, we're four almost 5 years into owning a kayak dealer and a fly shop. So
good retirement plan.
Exactly. Right? So but no, we've grown it. We're the biggest kayak fishing dealer in Indiana. Carry lots of brands, including New Canoe, and we're really fortunate here. We've got an awesome community and really been able to support our local clubs too.
Well, I want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Because last weekend they had Sam Jones put together that HKB Bash, Hoosier Kayak Bass and Bash. If you guys don't follow them on Facebook, go follow that, because Sam highlights a lot of the anglers and things going on in the state of Indiana. And Chad Hoover was here last weekend as well. And that was one of the things he talked about that night, is how the Indiana kayak fishing community is so big, but so underrated, and just a great group of guys. Like, for instance, so here you have GRBY, Indiana Kayak Anglers. Like, all the kayak clubs are here around your booth, and you work with a lot of those guys.
100%.
And that's one thing too, like I've talked about personally with some of these Indiana anglers, is that these clubs work together, whereas like in other states, a lot of them don't, you know. And
absolutely.
There's a lot of egos involved in kayak fishing 100%. Sometimes. But it's super cool, man. The community that is surrounded around your shop and the state of Indiana.
Yeah, it's very cool. So talking about Sam, he's kind of the central information location. So he kind of brings all the various clubs together. But so we've made it a pillar of our business to support the community.
Yeah.
It's very it's one of those very important things to us, and in return people support us. So it's a really good relationship there. We do sponsor GRBY as well as Indiana Kayak Anglers, donate kayaks for Angler of the Year, that kind of good stuff. So
that's cool.
Make sure make sure you get those guys taken care of. And yeah, we do. We have a pretty close knit community, and it's very active as well. So that's really, really fun. And it's competitive to a high level, but it's also not so competitive that people are rude about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's people are always willing to help each other out.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think Indiana kayak anglers, they run their trail series. Grubby is for the average working Joe, and anybody can fish that, and it's cool to see both of those levels. But I remember, when I found out about the Indiana kayak fishing community, like IKA was having events with over 100 people, whereas like in Illinois, we struggled to get 50 in some of our events.
Sure.
And it was like, what is going on in Indiana? And I get it now. It's the community
absolutely
thing that everybody grasps to, which is huge, man. And obviously you're a big part of that, being the local dealer,
Yeah, and it's people enjoy the fishing just as much as hanging out the campsite afterwards.
Exactly.
So that's and to us, that's what it's all about. And I can't tell you how many awesome friendships we've made through it, and lifelong friends, and we scratch each other's back when we need to and help each other out, and that's really awesome. So
super cool, man. Well, how did you guys come about getting NuCanoe as a brand that you carry at your shop?
Sure, good question. So the history there is like I said, I started kayak fishing about 20 years ago. About 8 years ago, so Moving Water Outfitters, our business has been around since 2018. Around 2014, I was actually on NuCanoe's fishing team.
Okay.
So I had, at that point, I was still fishing out of a little perception that I had modified myself, and jumped into NuCanoe, worked with Blake, and reached out there and got on their team, but kind of back in the early days.
Okay.
And I fished out of a Pursuit for a long time. Love the boat still, and after that, once we opened up a kayak shop, it was kind of a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Not only do we have the experience with them, we love the boat and love the product, but it was kind of a no-brainer to have them in the shop. So,
what do you think is like one of the easiest things for you guys as far as being a NuCanoe dealer? I shouldn't say easiest. I guess what's one of the benefits of having NuCanoe as one of your guys' brands?
Well, one of the best, and I know this is the marketing tagline for NuCanoe, but it really opens up unlimited options. That's the whole thing. It's a blank slate. So we cater to a vast majority of anglers. So whether it's the guy that wants to take 10 rods with him and go tournament fish, or the minimalist fly fishing angler, NuCanoe fits our customer base really, really well there. So,
well, and you touched on that a little bit. You guys are a fly shop as well, which is huge. Like a lot. I know out west and maybe parts of the east around the Smoky Mountains, you get a lot of fly fishing going on there, but Indiana, I would have never thought there'd be a fly shop in the middle of Indiana.
100%. Most people don't. So it's really pretty underrated. Prominently a warm water fishery. We do have stalker trout. Eagle Creek, which is right outside our shop. Find a 20-inch smallmouth on a fly rod. So.
Yeah, that's pretty killer. I've only chased smallmouth a few times up in my area, but muskie on the fly, like the first person I think of is Brad Bowen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've probably seen the documentary, but I mean, it's a cool thing, and I know one of the guys on our kayak team up in Rockford.
Okay.
That's his goal, is to catch a muskie on the fly. And he's been trying to accomplish that for a hot minute. I've had a few follows in my day, but never hooked up. But it's like I've caught some pike, which is awesome.
Pike are a blast too.
Yeah.
So,
but
absolutely,
no, it's cool. So walk us through your shop. You're in Zionsville, Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody walks into your shop, what can they expect? What are they going to see and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so basically you walk into the shop, it's kind of divided in half. So as soon as you walk in the door, the left half is full service fly shop. Okay. And so we cater everything there: rods, reels, consumables, tippets, flies, anything you can think of. And then basically the right half of our shop is our kayak side. So all of our staff is knowledgeable in both, extremely knowledgeable in both, and pretty much all our staff uses both as well. So,
cool.
All of our guys get out and kayak fish. They're knowledgeable in the boats. They're knowledgeable in the rigging. And we also have full line of accessories. So the Yak Attack, XI3s, Dakota lithium batteries, Yeah. And we do carry more than New Canoe. So
yeah. You guys also carry what? Old Town,
Yep.
Wilderness, Bonafide Native,
Perception.
Yep. Am I missing anything?
Jackson.
Yep. Okay.
So we are a Jackson dealer too.
Full service shop.
Yep.
And you guys do full out rigging there at the shop too. If a customer came in and just said, give me this, and that, you guys could outfit the whole
Absolutely.
thing. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. So we do everything from, we'll sell it, you take it home, rig it yourself, and just give you some guidance. Or if you want us to completely set everything up, we install a lot of XI3 sidekicks, all those kind of good things.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
So,
do you guys have a spot right by the shop where you guys could do demos, or do you guys do like scheduled demo days if somebody wanted to schedule time to come down?
Yeah, great question. So our first demo day of the year, and this show always kicks off our season.
Sure.
And then starting around May, once the weather starts warming up, usually second half of May, about every 3 weeks, we go up to Boone's Pond, which is about 10 minutes north of our shop.
Okay.
And we take all of our demo boats, we set them out on the beach there at Boone's Pond, and folks are just free to try all the different kayaks. And we got usually I'm there, a couple members of our staff, and a couple fishing team guys come up, and we just talk through it with people. And it's very low pressure, very low key. It's a great way to try boats. So.
The only guy I question on your fishing team is that Matt Gibson guy, but we'll talk about that later.
It's more of a necessity than a. No, I'm just kidding. No, we love Matt, man. Matt's good. Matt's good people. So.
No, that's super cool, man. Because that's the thing that I think a lot of people that are new to the sport maybe don't understand is like shops set up these demo days.
Yeah.
Sometimes they got bodies of water right out the back door. Sometimes, like you said, 10-minute drive north to a pond.
Yep.
And you can try out those boats and get set up, which is super cool, man.
It is. And our goal is always to buy once and buy right.
Yeah.
So we get so many people that go to Dick's or Tractor Supply and they buy that $300 or $500 kayak, and then they find that they love it and they're passionate about it, but they hate their kayak. So
what do you I mean, so that situation, right? Because you get a lot of people that are like, I always talk about it that, folks, especially guys our size, right?
Yeah,
we're bigger guys.
Yep.
And they try to get in these little $300 kayaks, and then they're absolutely miserable and they hate kayaking and they're afraid of it.
Yes.
But we had an instance here, and me and Matt talked about it on the last Unlimited podcast, was there was a guy last week. He was afraid to get in the demo pool.
Yep.
We put him in an Unlimited, and he's like, there's no way you're getting me to stand up. I pushed him off into the middle of the demo pond, and I was like, go ahead and stand up, and he stood right up. And this guy argued with me for like 20 minutes that he was not going to stand up. And he was like, this is incredible. It's unbelievable, man. And it's cool. And kudos to you guys for educating folks and, getting them set up right. And
well, I think a lot of people, one of the things we fight, and I shouldn't say fight, one of the things that we work through with people is everybody's gone to a livery, gotten a sit-in,
sure,
and floated down with their friends and either swamped it or it's not that stable or something of that nature, right? And that's everybody's perception of kayaks.
Right.
And over the last 5 to 10 years, stability in the hull designs on pretty much all the brands have come so far that people just don't believe you when you try to tell them. And until they experience it themselves, they don't believe you.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, man, when you sit back and think. Obviously, you've been doing this longer than I have, but
sure,
when you look back at that ride 115, so where we're at current day, like the evolution of all these boats, and not only that, the continuing evolution.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And all these different brands are pushing each other. Like for 100%. Instance, like New Canoe knew they had to do something new. They came out with the Unlimited, man, and they pulled out all the stops. Like my favorite boat, I know I'm biased, I'm on the New Canoe team, but like my favorite boat right now. And
absolutely.
It's cool to see the continued evolution in the sport.
100%. It's and it's been really cool to be part of that.
Yeah.
So it's when you sit back and take that 30,000 foot view and see even where we started 5 years ago versus where we are now, like that's come a long way, let alone 15, 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, just like you said, the advancements in the past 5 years. Now you got bow mount, spot lock trolling motors, the Torpedoes in the Newport vessels, right? Like Old Town with their built-in, pod with the motor. New Canoe's got all kinds of ways to either go paddle pedal power. It's
100%.
It's awesome.
It is. It really is. And you touched on all that, but the fact that we've gone from little unstable paddle boats to the industry's grown to the point of where it's worth it for people like Motor Guide and Minn Kota and Johnson Outdoors to design specific trolling motors designed for kayaks. Is really cool.
I absolutely agree with that. Down at your guys' shop, do you guys do like paddling lessons? You guys obviously do guided trips too.
We do.
Correct?
So we offer guided fishing,
okay,
fly fishing and conventional.
Okay.
So most of it's drift boat or raft. Depending where you want to go, sometimes it's a wade trip, but
okay.
But yeah, we've got drift boats and rafts, and most of the guys in our shops are also guides.
Okay.
So
cool.
We do that. And as far as kayak lessons, we're happy to meet with people up at our demo where we do demos and walk them through kayaks and make sure they're comfortable.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool, man. What do you guys got on the horizon, man? What are you guys looking forward to going forward? In the future, any big plans to expand your shop, maybe another location, anything like that?
Yeah, so we're continually growing. We are currently out of square footage. So
okay.
Our lease is up next year, and we're actually starting to look at getting bigger space and getting more space. So we're growing, which is awesome. And then just continuing to support our local clubs really well.
Nice.
So that's those are pretty much our two, from a kayak side, those are kind of the two big, expanding the shop so we can better serve people and just growing what we can give back to the community.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I know you guys currently, we only got a few boats left here for sale as far as new canoe goes.
Yep.
I think we got a Frontier and a couple of Flints.
Yep.
But for somebody that may be in the market in the Indiana area, when do you have another shipment coming in, and what's your inventory looking like for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so we're fortunate that we're big enough that we get shipments pretty much every 4 to 6 weeks from pretty much everybody. So it's been a really good show, and we are starting to thin out inventory. We're still pretty good, but as far as specifically new canoe, we do have a March order coming.
Okay.
And then we have an early May order coming right after that on teals. So
nice.
The way it works is we take a $500 deposit that reserves your boat. As soon as it comes in, we give you a call, and with COVID and the supply chain stuff, there's a lot of that happening. So selling off upcoming orders. So, if the one thing I've kind of not harped on, but communicated out, and it's really not a hard sell. It's just, if you are wanting a boat for April or May or even June, July to catch that earlier season stuff, make sure you're reaching out and kind of plan ahead. So let's
first say, for instance, I want to buy a boat, and I think I want a Frontier 12. I send you a $500 deposit. The boat comes in, and I want to change to a different boat. Can I do that?
You can. So your $500 deposit's refundable or transferable. So if it's an in-stock boat, we'll just move it to an in-stock boat, and then if it's not an in-stock boat, then we'll just apply it to a boat coming off a future order.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, we try to make it easy. The easier the better for all of us. So,
Easy is key, man. Easy
absolutely.
Is key. So we're winding down. The show's about to open up here.
Yeah.
So Indiana fisheries, man. What's at the top of the list for Chris Snodgrass?
Oh man, being a creek and river guy. So if I was going for absolute size, I would be on Tippecanoe River south of Oakdale Dam somewhere.
Okay.
Between that and the confluence with Wabash. As far as my local loves, I grew up on the White River. From Indianapolis north, from Indianapolis to Anderson area. I grew up on that. I fish it a lot. It also has really some pretty good smallmouth, and Sugar Creek's also really well known. It's a smaller body of water around like Crawfordsville, Indiana. It's known to be a really good smallie fishery as well. So
yeah, we held an event on Tippecanoe last year, and some of the smallmouth that were caught, like Jackson Orr, Matt Gibson, like those guys found some tanks. I think there was a 20 caught during the tournament.
I think there were actually a couple.
Yeah.
So it's that river's known for big smallmouth.
That's
for sure.
Awesome. That's awesome, man.
That's why we like it.
So what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you and the dealer, Moving Waters?
Sure.
What's the best way to find you guys?
Absolutely. So mwoutfitters.com is our website. All information's there. We're on social media as well. Moving Water Outfitters. You can find us Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We post all of our events and things on social media as well as the website. So demo days, things like that. So shows and pretty much all of our information's out there. So
sweet.
Or you can always, I know it's old school, but you can always call the shop.
Yeah.
So we're always happy to talk fishing. If you're local and want a fishing report or going to come fish Indiana or something, give us a shout. And
that's cool.
We're always happy to give an update. And last thing we want somebody to drive over and find out the river's blown out or something. So
do you know the phone number to your shop? I knew I was going to put you on the spot.
317-577-3091.
There you go. There you go. Awesome,
you
man.
might want to double check that, but I'm 90% sure that's it. So, yeah, in the days of saving everything in my phone.
Right, I know. I'm the same way. Like somebody asked me for my number, and I'm like, let me text you.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's a good save there.
It is. Yeah.
No, super cool, man. I appreciate you sitting down and chatting.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to be here.
Chatting with us.
Yeah,
and,
man. It's we love everybody and all the support, and can't thank you enough for coming down and supporting the show. And
it's been super cool, man. This is my second year here. I was here right before the pandemic, and it's cool. Like I said, man, earlier, the Indiana kayak fishing community is super strong and invites you in with open arms, which is awesome, man.
Yep.
And not saying that the rest of the country isn't that way, because most of it is. The kayak fishing community in general is just a very cool open place for everybody.
100%.
And I thank you for having me here. I thank you for sitting down, chatting with us.
100%.
A little New Canoe Saturday morning, guys and gals. Usually we're here every Tuesday evening, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. This week we won't have a Tuesday show because we did this show with Chris. So we'll be back the following week, guys, gals. Put a reminder in your phone. Always here talking to Team New members, dealers like Chris, and talking about some of the new products. Speaking of which, I know the rudder you guys can get signed up for at newcanoe.com to get on the list for that. That is about to get released.
It's awesome, by the way.
It is.
So this is our first time we've seen it as well, and it lived up to expectations. So.
And the foot pedal steering
is also awesome.
It is very awesome.
Yeah.
We got that rigged up on a boat here. That's about to get released as well. So if you guys are in the market for that,
we're very excited about both of those.
Yeah, I might have to steal one off Matt's boat. Just saying.
There you go.
But
awesome.
We appreciate all you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Chris. And thanks everybody that tuned in, and we will catch you on the next one. As always, boys and girls, tight lines.
See you guys.
Paddle.